In this video, we're going to be going over how to use medicine balls to improve the power in your javelin throw. Do you want to take your training to the next level? Download the Jacked Javelin mobile app, where you have access to dozens of free resources that cover topics such as nutrition, arm care, mobility, plyometrics, and most importantly, javelin technique. We also have our free community, which connects thousands of throwers from all around the world to communicate and help each other out. You will also have the option to purchase one of our training programs written directly by me with video demonstrations of each exercise telling you exactly how many sets and reps to do, as well as the option to track your metrics so you can keep track of your progress. See you on the inside. We're going to be using Matt here to do a lot of the demonstrations, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking up this video into 4 different sections. We got acceleration, deceleration, center of mass, and javelin specific. In the acceleration portion of this medicine ball video, what we're doing is we're not really worrying too much about technique, but we're just focusing on putting as much power into the medicine ball as possible. It's going to be really helpful to be using a wall, throwing into the wall as hard as you can, or using a pocket radar to test how fast you're throwing it, and then also using a measuring tape to see how far you're throwing them. So the first one that Matt is going to do is called a med ball shot put throw. So he's going to be getting his right elbow up and his left hand underneath the ball. Then he's just going to be stepping and throwing into the wall as hard as he can. You look like you're really trying to be nice and technical. I want you there. Yeah, there we go. Good. Nice. All right, so now what Matt's gonna do is he's gonna do an overhead med ball throw into the wall here. So what we're doing is we wanna get our block leg out in front of us and our chest behind the block leg, and then the ball will be behind our chest. Okay, so Matt, get in like a straight line there. Left leg out in front of you. Here, and then chest back, and then arm back. Not too low, not too low. There you go, right there. Now you're gonna step and throw as hard as you can from that position. Okay, good. Relax, relax. Good. So the whole idea here is that same thing, like similar to the javelin, we want to make sure that our center of mass is behind the block, and then when we're throwing with the ball, we feel a slight stretch in our chest. We don't want to be throwing too far over the block, but then also if the medicine ball is directly above our head, we're not going to feel any chest stretch there. So we need to be behind our neck and stay back, so when we hit it, we have a stretch in our core, our chest, and then the med ball comes forward. All right, so here we're gonna do a med ball overhead reverse throw. So what we're doing is we're making sure that we are getting the ball up nice and tall and then dropping it down into granny style. We're hitting triple extension with our ankles, knees, and hips. And then on the way back up, we wanna have a nice happy medium between throwing it high behind us and throwing it far behind us. You don't want it to be a reverse slam dunk where you're slamming it right over your head. You don't want it to be super straight up in the air where it comes down and hits you either. So Matt's gonna be working on getting that triple extension. He's gonna get the medicine ball over his head, bring it down into granny style, and then reverse as far as he can. And then when you're using this, whether you're on a track or a football field or whatnot, use a measuring tape or the yard markers to see how far you're throwing it. So each rep, you could try to beat your previous best score. All right, so med ball up, over your head, then bring it down, and then explode. If you go up and then you bring it down and you sit there at the bottom for 5 seconds, you're losing the momentum. You gotta go up and then down and then up again. Just like when we're doing a vertical jump test, right? We got the arms up, we're getting set, we go down, up, down, and then up, okay? So we're working on that triple extension and that power, but we're just throwing behind us instead of doing a vertical jump. So the more force you put into the ground, the more power you're gonna put into the ball. Good. A little bit higher, try to get a little bit more height on it. And then down, and then snap. Good. All right, so now that we just wrapped up the acceleration portion, we are going to go into the deceleration portion. So deceleration is important for javelin throwers because when you hit the block, you are building up speed in your run up, and then you're hitting the block and decelerating. And then when you throw, you are going to be following through after the block and throw, and that's where you need to have good deceleration capabilities. So it's really important that we get both acceleration and deceleration down so our body's prepared to do both. So with that being said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing the counter movement med ball shot put. So what Matt is gonna do is instead of just stepping and throwing and working on just back to front, we are now doing a counter movement with that movement. Like now we're starting with the front leg, transitioning into the soft back knee and back hip, and then we're internally rotating into the block and throwing out as hard as we can. Good. Good. Now when you sit back into the right side, try to transition from the back hip into the block as fast as you can. Okay? Make it bang bang. So still make sure that you're getting back into it, but then once you land, then you're just hitting the block and throwing. Good. Two more. Good. There you go. Now the next deceleration drill that we're going to do is called a med ball pump fake scoop toss. So what we're doing here is we're getting the medicine ball on our back hip. We are going to do a scoop toss, but we're pump faking and stopping it. So that's the deceleration part. Then we're bringing it back, rotating around back, decelerating again. Then we are accelerating forward, okay? So it's really important to make sure that you're going forward fast and then stopping, backwards fast and then stopping, and then forwards fast. Good. Good. The next section of medicine balls is going to be center of mass focused. So what that means is we are going to be working in the unilateral stance so that when we're doing medicine ball drills, we are focusing on having our block leg out in front of us and our back foot soft behind us, and then rotating from side to side. Because when we throw the javelin, as we mentioned earlier, it's important that when we throw, we're not too far forward over the block leg, but we're not too far leaning back either. So by doing these center of mass focused medicine ball drills, we're working on having our block leg out in front of us, trail leg soft and bent behind us, and then doing the medicine ball drill nice and comfortable in this exact position. That was good. Make sure you're finding your rhythm with each rep, okay?
Gotcha.
Try to have one bounce lead right into the next bounce. There you go. Keep your feet. Keep that back foot softer. Back foot bent. There you go. So the next center of mass medicine ball drill that we're going to be doing is called the rear foot elevated med ball scoop toss. So what we're doing there is we are getting our one foot behind us elevated onto a box or a bench press, and then our block leg is out in front of us. And from there we want to make sure that our hips and our shoulders and our trunk are stacked evenly so over our center of mass, so that we're not too far forward or not too far back. Then from there, if our right leg is there behind us, we are going to lower down and bring the medicine ball to our right side, and then we are going to scoop toss across our body to our partner that will be on our left side. Okay, so you want to make sure you're going up and down and then scoop tossing across your body. So you're going to be catching your pass from your partner at the top position, and then go down with the medicine ball, and then on the way back up you're going to throw it, and then you catch it in the top position and then go down, and then on the way back up you're going to throw it. So the last style of medicine ball throw that we use is javelin specific. So these are going to be finding the same positions that we worked on previously, but adding a little bit of movement into them. So the first one will be a 5-step med ball shot put, and then the second one will be a 5-step med ball overhead throw. Good. So what I love about these javelin specific medicine ball drills is that we are able to focus on building some speed and energy into the medicine ball and focus on that lower body power. Because if we do this same drill but we were to use a javelin, a lot of athletes would be worried about how far the javelin is going, getting the proper arm slot, throwing through the point, and all of those things that come with throwing a javelin. But when you just throw a medicine ball at the wall, you're not worried about all that stuff, and you're able to just focus on the lower half, transferring your energy, and the throw is a chain reaction. Good. One more of that. Good. Good. So now here we're going to be doing the same steps as the 5-step med ball shot put, but on the penultimate we are going to be opening up and getting the medicine ball behind us. So we want to make sure that we're finding that position of that soft back foot, straight front leg, medicine ball behind the chest, so we feel that reaction, and use the core in the chest to power the medicine ball forward after we hit that block foot. Good. A little bit more power. Speed it up in the next two. Good. Good. All right, that's a wrap. Hope you guys learned something about how to produce power with medicine balls. Be sure to check out our next video on how to produce power with plyo balls.